Hi, this is Sarah Letourneau from Heart of the Story Editorial and Coaching Services. Thank you so much for joining me for today's edition of Mindful Mondays for Writers. Every Monday, I will share a mindfulness tip that we will practice together and that you can then incorporate into your writing routine and your daily life. So last week, we began this video series by establishing a breath practice. In particular, we practice the 2-1-4 breathing technique as a means of calming ourselves when we experience anxiety or stress. Today, I'd like to build on that by adding an exercise for the mind that I like to call empty your mind. So when we're stressed, anxious, or experiencing other negative emotions, our thoughts tend to cling to us. They circle and repeat in a way that makes it very difficult or impossible, we may think, for us to let go of them. And that's how dwelling works. We can't stop thinking about the source of our fear, unrest, anger, or whatever emotion it is that we're experiencing. And so we not only become stuck with the thoughts that are going through our heads, but we also become stuck with the emotions that those thoughts create. And it makes it almost impossible for us to function in our daily routine or even write when we experience those kinds of thoughts and emotions. So the mindfulness practice I'd like to share with you today is going to help you learn to let go of those thoughts and emotions in a non-judgmental way. We'll do this by focusing on our breathing, which is a way of grounding ourselves and calming us down when we experience those thoughts and emotions. And we'll also imagine that our thoughts, or our mind rather, is like a river, and that our thoughts travel down that river, floating ultimately away from us. And by allowing them to float away and acknowledging them when we're saying the word thinking, if they do become stuck in our mind, this allows us to let them go in a non-judgmental way, perhaps acknowledging the emotions that are dredged up when we experience those thoughts, but allowing all of that to ride away with that mental river. And what this does is by focusing on the breath, it gives you something physical to concentrate on so that you can take your mind off of your thoughts. Then this allows your thoughts to stop circling and to move freely and away from you, so that you're also not stuck with the undesirable emotions that those thoughts create. And as a result, those emotions also get carried away with that mental river as well. This is admittedly not an easy practice for everyone. I struggled with it at first when I tried it for the first time. But this is also something that we can come back to in future Mindful Mondays with other exercises for the body or the mind that we do in the future together. So in a way, this just helps to further establish our practice. And also this can be a good exercise to do if you struggle with thinking too much while meditating, especially when we listen to guided meditations where the point is to focus on the voice of the narrator. Doing this river of thoughts or emptying your mind exercise can allow you to help you let go of your thoughts in advance of listening to that meditation, or even during the meditation if needed. So let's get comfortable, either in a seated position or lying down, and close your eyes and focus on how you're breathing right now. Just simply notice whether you're breathing slowly or quickly and what emotions you're feeling at this moment. Whether you're stressed or anxious or discouraged, just simply acknowledge it. It's okay to feel whatever you're feeling at this moment. And just breathe. Breathe. Now we'll do the 2-1-4 breathing technique, where we exhale for 2 counts, inhale for 2 counts, Inhale for 2 counts, hold the breath for 1, and exhale for 4. Let's begin. Inhale 1, 2, hold for 1, exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, inhale 1, 2, hold for 1, exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. Inhale 1, 2, hold for 1, exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. And now, if it feels comfortable, continue that 2-1-4 practice for a little bit longer. As you've been breathing, you may have noticed that thoughts came into your mind. Perhaps they stayed there, or perhaps they've already come and gone. Whatever happened, that's okay. I would now like for you to imagine a river, not just any river, but that your mind is a river, where your thoughts travel from one end to the other and away freely. So continue breathing and imagining this river. If a thought that travels along this river becomes stuck in your head, say the word thinking to acknowledge this thought, and then allow it to flow on down the river and away. Whenever a thought is stuck in your head, remember to say the word thinking. Acknowledge the thought and any emotions that come with that thought, and then let it float on and away like a boat down that river. If it helps to imagine your thoughts as that boat, imagine that boat when you say the word thinking to acknowledge that thought and its emotions, and then let the boat float on down the river and away. Continue this for a little bit longer. Remember to feel your breath as you inhale and exhale, and imagine that river. And anytime a thought is stuck in your head, imagine it like a boat or anything else on that river. Say the word thinking to acknowledge that thought and any emotions that are associated with it. And then let it flow down the river and away. As we come to the end of this exercise, take a moment to pay attention to how you feel now that you have done it. Do you feel calmer, more relaxed, and at peace? Just notice how you feel. And when you have done this, finish your last breath cycle. And when you exhale, open your eyes. Now, this is a practice you can try anytime when you are feeling anxious, or when you're not even feeling anxious or stressed. Sometimes it's good to simply practice it for the sake of practicing it. Perhaps before you sit down to meditate, perhaps before you sit down to read, first thing in the morning when you get up, or right before you go to bed. This can be particularly helpful for anybody who experiences circling thoughts and anxiety at night. This is also something you can try right before your next writing session, especially if thoughts are stuck in your head and you think they're going to distract you. Just take a moment to focus on your breathing and try this exercise of emptying your mind. And see if it helps you let go of those thoughts so that you can focus on what you're going to be working on. So that's it for this week's Mindful Monday for Writers. I hope you enjoyed this video and found this week's tips helpful. If you did, please like this video on YouTube, leave a comment, share it with your writer friends. You please also subscribe to this YouTube channel so that you can receive a notification before when the next Mindful Mondays for Writers video debuts. One more note, if you are on Facebook, I would like to invite you to my next live stream poetry reading at the Heart of the Story Facebook page. That's going to happen on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Just look at the information below on the YouTube video to find the link for the event page. So that's it for this week's video. Take care of yourself, let the writing flow, and I will see you again next week. Bye.